One of the ways our body gets rid of the heat is to sweat, and then air moves by it and it evaporates and it cools down the skin, which cools down the blood, which cools down the core of our body. It's just a great adaptive mechanism. If somebody's hot and their skin is dry, something's wrong. And they need to be for sure taken out of the sun and evaluated. Kids do heat up faster and they can get sick quicker, and the same is true with the elderly and other people, I might add, with certain kinds of medications that are diuretics where they don't have as much fluid on board, certain things that mess up the nervous system response to heat. So people have to be really diligent and watch the people around them on a hot day. If they're starting to get dizzy, or they're starting to lose their sense of humor, or they're starting to say things that are a little bit odd or different, I think it's really critical to get them out of that heat, get them in the shade, cool down their skin with moist towels, and give them plenty of oral fluids to rehydrate with. People don't anticipate very well sometimes. For example, even a trained athlete, if they decide to go out on a 98-degree humid day, they can get into difficult problems, even though they might have done that before, but they didn't preload with enough fluid, for example. So even trained athletes have to be cautious of that. My suggestion is don't push it. Run in the mornings if you're going to do that outside, or do your strenuous activity toward evening after the sun is down and cools down a bit. I just don't think you have to tempt fate. People lose their good judgment sometimes. They'll lose their sense of humor sometimes, but sometimes people that are dehydrated and start having heat-related illnesses, they're not very reliable. So that's why it's important to have, when you have somebody around you, to ask them questions and to really inquire, feel their skin. Are they hot and dry? Because they shouldn't be dry. They should be hot and moist when it's this kind of temperature. One of the things that we also see is that people that drink a lot of carbonated beverages get bloated because of all the bubbles and everything inside them, and they feel full, so they don't drink as much. I would tend to avoid carbonated beverages